All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shem Shah, by Shem Kakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the Akimat, the pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. It's the brother Barles off from Great Millstone, Atlanta. I'm just going to go into basically the two kingdoms cannot rule at once. And of course, we know in the kingdom to come, that's going to be the kingdom owed to Yahweh Shah, ultimately from the Heavenly Father. And it speaks about us in Romans going to be joint heirs unto that kingdom. And you have these different plantation Christians, Catholicists, all manner of and manufacturers of Christianity that believes when whom the world calls Jesus Christ comes and makes his epic return, that he's gonna basically consolidate with the representatives and the leaders, and it's gonna be peace amongst all these leaders around the world, and it's basically just gonna be one kingdom with Yahweh Shah, and that's furthest from the truth. I remember back in school back in the day, you would see the global map, and you would see all children, Chinese, Japanese, African, white, Asian, all holding hands, hand in hand around the globe, and that's totally false, man. In the kingdom of heaven, there's gonna be established order. There's gonna be a level of dictatorship, all right, totalitarian control, where it's gonna be a king, and the men that sit in the same office with that king will only be the ones ruling, and that nation that has that inheritance through gene, through race, will be the ones that actually are the ones that's going to sit down in a position of rulership. And anybody that's not of that kindred, that close kindred, and of that notable stock will be in pure subjection. They'll pay tribute. They'll have to work and labor tooth and nail in order to satisfy that nation. And their whole lively makeup is to make sure that those kings stay satiated, so to speak, stay satisfied, stay fed, stay massaged, nurtured, and taken care of. And that's according to biblical prophecy. All right, because contrary to popular belief, we're still living in a dynasty, the so-called white man's dynasty. Even though we know this system is being democratic, but really all these different presidents are relatives, man. They all go back to pure line. The line goes back to Europe. They said 42 presidents are actually related, including Barack Obama. And it goes back to a king of Britain, if I'm not mistaken. So it's still the dynasty of Esau is still living and thriving. And the true rulers, really, of course, of the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Oppenheimers, that dynasty of elite illuminists. All right. So when that kingdom and that overthrow of that particular people are thrown out of office, all right, and the new people will set up shop, it's not gonna be other nations that's gonna actually be joined with us. The East Indians are gonna have to pay. The Moabites, which are the Chinese, they're going to have to pay. The Ammonites, Japanese, they're going to have to pay. The Africans, Aboriginals, which are Japhet. All right, all of these nations will have to pay to actually receive comfort and receive a level of nourishment from the leaders in the time. And I'm gonna read this in Second Ezra 4:29. Says, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. Right, and that's why it tells you in Second Peter's the 3rd chapter, we seek for a new heaven and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And Revelations the 21st chapter, if I'm not mistaken, goes into a whole new heaven and a new earth, which that word new is kainos, meaning to be refreshed and renewed. And how is it going to be renewed? Because the present kingdom and the kings and leaders that actually govern and dictate what's going on are going to be subjugated. They're going to be in slavery. All right. It's going to be a change of worlds. All right. These multi-trillionaires, billionaires that own you, as it is written in Revelations 18, the souls of men, including the heaps of merchandise, they're going to be the lowest of the low. All right. And the brothers of the Israelite stock, which is you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're gonna reign supreme, and we're gonna have basically the first fruits of everything, and that right there is our God-given right. The blessing starts in Genesis. All right. Hey, first and foremost with Adam. Adam was of that stock of the sons of God, and that seed line came to a particular people, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and it trickled down to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. So that is our God-given right to receive the glory and the promises that was given us. Because our forefathers, the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they had certain blessings that they would receive. All right. You know, to solidify that they were God's chosen, and that who would spring out of the loins of these particular men would actually be the chosen too. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read this. This is Psalm 75 and 1. See if that's what I actually want. Yeah, I want to start at 4. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn. All right, the horn represents the power. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. Right, and you had certain kings that got a understanding of that, such as Nebuchadnezzar. He believed that through his power, through his wits, and his level of judgment, that he received that kingdom, and it wasn't by any other influence by him but himself. That's why he established himself as an idol, and all people in that kingdom were to worship him. But after the Most High jacked Nebuchadnezzar up, he said that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and setteth up whomsoever he will, even the basis of those men. All right. So the Lord has power to build a people up and to bring a people down. And that's the life of man. All right. It's not just one person in rulership. It's about lineage. When we fell, it wasn't just a couple Israelites. Us as a nation fell. All right. And a particular kingdom raised up. Just like these kingdoms with the Greeks. All right. The Babylonians. The list goes on and on. All right. The Egyptians, which are the particular Hamites, the Philistines, which were, of course, they come out of the Egyptian stock. When they were in rulership, that particular people was in rulership, and it was the particular people that was subjugated. All right, but in the kingdom, and that shows you in the kingdom of heaven, when a nation is going to be put down, that is going to be another one set up, and that nation that's going to be set up is Yasharahla, the princes of God, the ones that had the established covenants from the beginning. So it says, for in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same, but the dregs thereof. All the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. All right, and all the wicked of the earth is starting with you Edomites and all you other nations on the 17th nation map. All right, everybody outside the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, really 2/3 of our people also are going to have to drink of this cup because they have followed the paths of the wicked. All right, they have joint heirs, and they're residing in the spirit of the wicked. So when Yahushua comes, he's going to take down nations, and he's going to set up nations, preferably the nation of Israel. All right, that's why when you read, which I'm going to go into, Yahushua, he's going to come and defend the people, and he's going to come and destroy a people. Revelation 19:11, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Right, and that many crowns represents having ultimate rulership over all kings of the earth. That word goes into diadem, the kingly ornament for the head, right? And in order to be a king, to wear many crowns, that means you have to have a lot of people in slavery. So Yahushua is coming ultimately to slap chains on these different kings. All right, whether they call themselves presidents, sultans, prime ministers, they have the big hat. You know, they're the big wigs of today's time, but they're gonna lose their possessions. They're gonna lose their rulership. You know that, like they spoke about in Psalms the 75th chapter, the promotion. They're gonna lose that promotion, and there's gonna be another people that's gonna get promoted. It says, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. Why is his vesture as clothing dipped in blood? Isaiah 66:15, because he's going to tread the wine press, and he's going to destroy these different nations. All right? And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, and those armies are angels, man. And those angels, as it is written in Psalms the 34th chapter, they're protecting and hovering over a particular people to make sure that they're safe. All right, and there's gonna come a time where they're gonna defend those men also. All right, which are the Israelites, clothed in fine linen, and really the elect, white and clean, and out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. Right, it says smite the nations, and if he's smiting the nations, that means he's defending a nation. All right, he's not just smiting people in particular; he's destroying nations. All right. Which Yahushua is an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, so he's coming to defend his people from the destruction of Babylon, and from the destruction of other nations that look to oppress and harm us. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the almighty power. And he had on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Right, so when Yahushua comes, he's going to be the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, and no man, no other king or man in a high official position will be able to sit beside the Lord. All right, only one that's going to be in rulership with him, which is by promise, is the 12 apostles, which is said that their names are going to be written in the kingdom. And the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Revelation the 7th chapter, the 12,000 from each tribe, which represents the 144,000 and 1/3 elect. And as it is written in Romans 11:26, all Israel shall be saved. But the other nations are going to have to suffer a heavy judgment and go into slavery. So, this is just all I have for Akim. Just wanted to go into this. Hopefully, brothers edified. I'm going to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shema, Shah by Shemar Kakodash. Double honor to the apostle and elders, a great millstone, and Shalom Akim.